Oh man, I feel like I should be the referee shirt back on. Which show is going to be better? Undisputed with their new co-host Richard Sherman, and First Take with a rested and revitalized Shannon Sharpe. Which one do you guys are going to think is going to take the cake? Which one do you feel is going to be the more dominant show?
First take. First take is gonna start off with a boom with Shannon stepping on the scene. Uh, Undisputed is going to have its rating, but first take it's going. The ratings are going to go through the roof because everybody is going to want to see how uh, Shannon and Stephen A. pair up. They're going to want to see how the big words and the electricity of Shannon Sharpe is going to mesh well. Where they're going to have Skip, who is going to him and Richard Sherman. They're going to have big words. They're going to be educated and they're going to talk this and they're going to debate. It's going to be very, very calm. It's not going to be. It's not going to be as entertaining as First Take is going to be at all.
I'm going the other way. I think undisputed. No, but I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because the show that you're talking about, who made those two people stars?
It did.
Did you, in television anyway, did you really know anything about them before they became stars in television?
I knew a bit about Stephen A. because he had a show called Quite Frankly, and I remember his interview that he did with Allen Iverson. So that's how I kind of got familiar with Stephen A. And Shannon Sharpe, I watched football and I knew he was Broncos. And then I remember he used to call certain things on CBS after he retired for a while. But it wasn't much until he got with Skip.
See, and that's the thing. We're going with the known. I like the unknown. I think if you got a certified number one star, what Skip is, and then you have this other person that nobody knows, I think that meshed perfectly. There's no pressure because the pressure is going to be on Shannon and Stephen A. because they're two stars, which I think may mess that up. But I think Richard Sherman can pronounce his words. Him and Skip they've been in battle before. Richard is in battle with everybody when he argue with people. He speak his mind. You're gonna have Lil Wayne coming in on Fridays. I don't know. Maybe they needed something to mix that show up. I think
But,
Skip is gonna make him a star.
but this is the thing, though. Is Richard Sherman going to be able to talk more than just football? Shannon was able to come in and talk about all sports, basketball, baseball, a little bit of hockey, golf, all of that. Is Richard Sherman, because he's a Seahawks legend, but he's football, is he going to be able to come in and give his real good takes on basketball, the baseball seasons, boxing? Because they talk about every sport. Is he going to be able to give great opinions on that?
I mean,
I
we do.
Oh, I
yeah.
agree. My opinions are lovely. My opinions are on point all the time.
I said we do. Are you not listening to what I just said?
I thought
We
you took a shot
do.
at me. I thought you took a
No,
shot.
I'm actually giving you a compliment with that tight ass Raiders hat. I
We're going to the Super Bowl this year.
yeah, they buy tickets, but
And the Super Bowl's in Vegas, so
yeah,
yeah.
We gonna be there.
literally they literally live there. I feel that it's going to be a lull for both shows actually. So I'm taking a different road. I don't think that there's enough room and ego as the poet laureate Sean Diddy Combs said. It ain't enough lime here for you to shine here. I cannot see Stephen A. allowing a big personality of Shannon A. To come in and Shannon A. Shannon to overtake him. I can't see that happening. And I feel not that Richard Sherman will do a bad job because I've seen him eloquently debate on many of platforms. I don't have a doubt in my mind that he'll be able to talk about all sports intelligently and maybe even to a higher level than Shannon, because Shannon led on a lot of emotion sometimes. That's why he ended up owing him like 16,000 gallons of Diet Mountain Dew, because he was just making these terrible bets off of emotion. But the problem is, I could see Richard Sherman having even more of a temper than Shannon.
Thank you. I was about to say that.
And like really like try to prove himself not only an equal but superior. And I could see Skip running his mouth like he does, and Richard Sherman like going out and be like, "What you say, white man?" or something like I can see it going super left in that scenario. So that's why I think this is going to be the beginning of the lull for both shows and the rise of Blow the Whistle Sports, available to you on Keeping Up with the Kyle Joneses.
So I got a question there. So I'm glad that Mars said that, because it's gonna lead me down another rabbit hole.
Okay.
And I honestly been thinking about this. I wish I would have made it a question. Do y'all think sports shows like debate shows are coming to an end, or they've reached their peak already and people are kind of tired of it and they're looking for another format now?
I don't think it's debate shows. I think. Oh, go ahead, Sherman.
No, I was just saying yes, because you think about what we do. That's traditional. ESPN, FS1, CBS, that's traditional. We're in a new day and age of trying something new, and people are locking into it, like our show. You know what I'm saying? They're locking into it. Cam and Mace, it is what it is. People are locking into other people's opinions more than just being on the sports network. You know what I mean? So I think, though, that old-fashioned way is coming to an end. It'll still have its rise because it's legendary. ESPN is a legendary network. So it's going to stay, but people are kind of want to tune into other people's analyzing stuff. So I think that old era is kind of dying off.
I mean, I don't have my ref shirt on, but can I award Drew a point? That was like
good. That was good.
The best take you've ever had in your life. This man came recharged for the second half of the season. I agree with. Oh God, it almost hurts for me to say it, but I agree with the short man. I feel a little nauseous in my stomach. But the problem is, the gatekeepers are done. There's YouTube. And people are consuming. Like when we grew up, I'm old enough to remember not only having 3 channels, but I was the remote. Like my mom would say, "Get up and change the channel." Like that's how old I am. So you only had 3 options, and then when Fox came, 4 options for sports, and that was it. And then ESPN came, but people I didn't have cable all my life. Like I grew up with times where I just had basic channels. Now there's so many you can go to YouTube, you can go to Snap, to Twitter, X, Facebook. There's so many sources to get news, and now it's all about personalities. Doesn't matter if you're trained, if you're a personality that people dig and will tune into, then people will follow you with whatever you do. That's what Shannon is betting on, that his personality, that people will follow him with whatever you do. But the traditional debate shows, man, that's over. Like I prefer Cam and Mace, and of course our show, over any of those sports shows. People just want to see personalities that they, it's like talking to the barbershop about sports. That's where most of us had our true and genuine best sports debates, sitting in the barbershop. I think, LeBron tried to compass that with his show, but it didn't, it just, something's a little off with that one too.
People are looking for natural realization, and a lot of these sports shows don't have that. You can tell it's more, you have to give this type of opinion, where it's forced. Where a show like ours, we're just 3 friends just having a conversation and laughing and joking and putting our own little spin on it, and it's more real than just watching these shows. It's just like you're tuning in like this, and we're not wearing the suits and having to look all professional. We're just giving our takes of the game we saw or some things we might have heard, and it seems more natural. It doesn't look natural on these shows, and people are starting to see that this new era of people.
No, I agree. I was gonna ask y'all another thing, but I forgot.
It seems like when y'all agree with me, y'all want to get tongue tied and all.
No,
I'm feeling a little disconnected.
You done took all the points, but no, everything you said was right. I can't dispute anything that you said. Like I said, I personally think Undisputed is gonna take off though. But I don't know. I know what I want to say. So Shannon's favorite player is LeBron James. It seemed like he made a LeBron James move, and I think I'm kind of disappointed in that. It was like he left and then he went. It was like the easy move to make. Stephen A. I kind of wanted to see, was he going to test himself and bet on himself to see if he could build something himself. And it just felt like that was an easy scapegoat move to make, was to team up with Stephen A. I mean, that part kind of disappointed me.
Well, I don't think so. I think he went to where he can get a better backing. I don't think FS1 could back him like ESPN, as they've been there longer. They're the big dog of the sports media. So he went where they could back him. They financially probably hooked him up and gave him all the perks that he wanted in his contract. I don't think FS1 could have done that. And I believe he will end up being his own Batman because he was the Robin of Undisputed. So he's going to come in on First Take and he's just going to be a guest. But I guarantee he's going to be the Batman of his own show or more.
I think a lot of this, to me, it also comes out from all the reports. They were not even Batman and Robin. They were like maybe Batman and Alfred. Like, he didn't have a lot of say on the topics. He didn't have a lot of say. And when your name is the co-liner on the title, then you should have equal stroke and power. And I think that is the biggest thing. But if he thinks he's going to wrestle any power away from Stephen A., I think you're going to be in the same situation that you were before, but maybe with someone even more of an ego. And I don't know. I'm hoping it's not a race thing, that he thinks it's going to be okay because it's another brother. Because personality-wise, I don't think they're going to mesh well. I hope they do, though. We'll see.
I just had a epiphany, something in my head, right? So Shannon's last day when he gave all the credit and all the thank yous and everything like that, right? All on camera. What if that camera went off after he had shook Skip's hand and was like, man, I appreciate you. Thank you. What if that camera went off? He was like, hey, man, really, fuck you. Like, May just popped in my head. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of bounds for saying it, but I think of these type of things. He could have been like, yeah, I said that shit, but it really, fuck you, bitch. You ain't shit. Kiss my motherfucking ass.
I mean, I would be surprised if, he hit him with the good burger or whatever. Like, fuck you. You're cool.
I think Barnes made a good point. I think that's what separated Shannon from Skip. To Skip, it was all three. It was all just, it's TV. Shannon had so much of that, he used to be an athlete thing, that when Skip said stuff, Shannon would take it personal. You can't talk about that person like that. Or you can't say this, or you can't say that, because Shannon know what you got to do to get to that level. Where Skip, it's like, man, this is TV. Like, we got to sell this stuff. Skip didn't mind the attention because he knew it sold. That's why he was saying stuff to Shannon, to get under his skin, because I'm going to get him mad in his sales. And I just feel like, honestly, Shannon was taking a lot of this stuff personal. And then when that dude almost died in the field, I honestly think Skip asked a good question. I asked the same thing. Like, so y'all going to cancel this game? It's an important game. Like, we can't leave that out. And now, look, the dude that almost died is playing this year. So, I mean, it was traumatic, but obviously it didn't affect him that much because he's still going to risk his life and come back, which is an episode of Blow the Whistle Sports that we're going to do. But go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, that I have gone on record on multiple shows, and I'll say it again. It's not a hot take to me. Skip didn't do anything wrong with that quote. He asked a question. He didn't say, they need to play this. He said, what are we going to do now? He knows that billions of dollars every single football game, somebody risks being paralyzed or dying on the field or getting CTE. And we've seen the stories. We know that this is a pimp and hoe relationship with all of the major sports. So that's corporate America as it is. They assume the risk because they know that they have an opportunity to end up getting generational wealth. I'm not, I have empathy, but I don't have sympathy for, like, this is what you sign up for. You know, getting hit in the head a lot is bad for your health. This is not a surprise. You know, hence why everybody doesn't do it. But hence why you get paid in the 1% because you're doing something that so few human beings have done. There's been millions of accountants in history, but there's probably been a few thousand football players in the history of mankind when you really think about it that make it to that level. So it I don't think Skip did anything wrong besides ask a question. And I think Shannon, because he's an ex-athlete, like you said, and he's in that fraternity of football players, he had to almost show his ass when in reality, he probably was thinking the same exact thing. He just didn't say it.
I think it got heated when his character got talked about, with the Tom Brady thing. I think he did go off on emotions, but you should never really try to get at a man's character like that, like how Skip got at Shannon like that. So
I mean, he just said Tom Brady was better than him, though.
Tom Brady is better than him. Is that a debate? Is that
was a quarterback who had a great line? If Tom Brady was like a Phillip Rivers who was getting hit all the time with the line he had, then what?
But he wasn't.
Yeah,
we can't play with these hypotheticals. He wasn't. These got 7 championships. And has New England done shit since? Has Tampa done shit since? No. Like, we got to put some respect on Tom Brady's name. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback of all time. I can argue that. But if you're looking at career to career, would you rather have Skip's or would you rather have Tom Brady's?
I'm a little different. I probably want to go with Shannon's because I'm going to go with Shannon because of how it goes now. If I could see the end game, like 7 rings, great. Shut up. Fuck all that. But you think Shannon is loved by many people over the world and the things that he gets to do now. If you can see that type of future, like Brady has a hell of a sports career. I don't know if he's going to be a great analyst, but you see how Shannon has evolved. I would want that type of life. I want to be able to evolve like that.
I guarantee if you ask Shannon, would he rather have his life or Tom Brady's life? He would pick Tom Brady's life. And that I bet a case of Diet Mountain Dew on.
Is Shannon even worldwide? I don't think Shannon Sharpe is worldwide. Like, I don't think he go to Japan and you'd be like Shannon Sharpe.
They might think he's the actual Bronco, like from the side of the. They're like, oh, mascot. Oh, I've offended a lot of people. I'm sorry.
Shulman is funny, boy. He
said, what's the next time?
He said a whole bunch of nothing.
Oh man, so he won't be wearing the halter top this year. Zeke Elliott has come up to